Please welcome to the stage Miss Laura Vandervoot, Erica Durant, Kristen Brooke, and Mr. Tom Welling. Wherever you want, you pick a spot. If you want to relegate Tom to the island chair, you're more than welcome. If you want to take it, whoever wants it, it is your choice. Thank you. Absolutely. Oh yes. We've got whiteboards. We're going to play games. If you want to write things on them that are inappropriate right now, you can't stop me. Well, skeptic. First and foremost, how are you guys doing this weekend? Have you had a great time here at the show? Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Sincerely. Our love goes out to Michael, who couldn't be with us. Obviously, the situation in LA is very serious. We want to send all the love and respect to him.
Oh, actually, sorry.
Oh, yes.
An update?
He's in your pocket.
He told me when we get on the panel to FaceTime him so he can talk to you.
Okay. Well,
This actually is not a stunt. We talked about this yesterday. Well, I told him 2 o'clock.
What time is it?
I mean, we can wait till 2. We can wait till 2. We got 13 minutes. We'll wait.
Just call him.
Okay. We'll just call him.
Wake him up. Wake him up.
Dialing.
There we go.
Okay. Do we have later? Continue.
Yes, we go. Keep going. Okay. I was like, we're holding in silence here.
We're just trying to figure out how to sit on your
Listen,
couch.
I will warn you, the couch is super comfortable. It's deep. Yes, you will struggle to get out of the couch.
This?
There we go.
I just gone all the way to the back. Yeah. No, it just.
Do you want to? There we go.
We're making this very difficult for you. So sorry, you can
This
go.
is about comfort. It's about comfort.
I'm going to keep this in front of me. I told him, FaceTime me in the next 20 minutes. We're on the panel.
Perfect. So, Smallville is obviously rooted in Superman's culture, mythos, the history, and all that wonderful stuff, but it's really about friends in high school and in that pivotal kind of time period of developing those relationships. I want to know, what were you guys like in high school, and how similar was it to anything that you played in your career?
Kristen, were you still in high school when you did Smallville?
No, I just graduated high school.
Okay.
But I was pretty close to being in high school. Okay, I guess I'm talking, so I'll just go first. I was reserved, serious, quite righteous, very
professional,
well, I'm talking about in high school.
Creative, talented.
Oh, you're giving me nice words. Yes, I was. I also was. I was creative and stuff, but I was like I was an intense kid, and I was very into Naomi Klein, so I was very much against like corporations and was really mad when people wore Nike. It's a big deal. Sweatshops.
I got you.
Yeah. So not really like Lana.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's fair. Who else was going next?
I was. Gosh, I had a pixie cut all through high school. Oh, cute! I played sports. I got involved in everything that I could possibly get involved in. So a little Lois like. Well, maybe, perhaps. Really impulsive. A little Lois like. Very Lois. And then I worked as a janitor. I did that too. I know, very cool. I always had that job.
That's super like Lois, because Lois would find where the dirt is, and that's what a janitor does. So I see what you did there.
Right, you know? Thank you.
Clever.
You see?
I got you.
I was very reserved as well, quiet, didn't have a lot of friends.
Aww.
That would have been your friend. I would have had we gone to high school together, yes.
Of course.
Very serious about schoolwork, sports, but yeah, I was acting at that time as well, so I would do a lot of homeschooling on set.
Oh, that's gotta be fun. Yes.
So I was away a lot, but yeah, a loner.
Gotcha.
Sure.
Sometimes you gotta be that, you know?
It's changed. High school.
Yeah, come on, Tom, you gotta tell
Well, I
us.
went to 3 different high schools, so I was sort of always the new guy.
Okay.
Trying to fit in.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, you felt
You went to an all-boys school?
Pardon?
Did you go to an all-boys school?
All-boys Catholic school.
Do you remember so much that far back?
Pardon?
Do you remember that far back?
Wow.
That was a bird.
I do. Well, thank you.
Scorpio rising.
Thanks, cuz. Is Scorpio rising right now?
Kristen just told me I'm Scorpio rising into my horoscope.
I can't wait to hear about your tarot cards later today.
Tarot?
Yeah, there's no retrograde for you at all. That's real. I think
Sorry, Mom.
one of the amazing things about Smallville is that there are people that can look back on and say, "Oh, I grew up with this." What were some of the shows that you guys grew up with that kind of inspired you to want to be an actor at all?
No inspiration, but I would no inspiration. No inspiration. What is that? The one with Jack Tripper, and the two ladies.
Three's Company.
Three's Company.
I can see that in comedy. Absolutely. I'm trying Michael again, sorry.
We weren't allowed, actually, that was like really bad for where I grew up because it was very conservative, so that was my naughty show. Ooh,
I mean...
people living together. What?
Right?
Yeah, I know.
Not okay.
Did you learn all the words to the theme song? Like, that's one of those like hidden gems where people always messed up the actual words of the theme song. Where the towels are his and hers. No? Okay, all right. Hers and hers and his? Yeah.
Oh wait, he's here. Oh wait!
Hey!
Michael! Sorry to bother you.
Put a shirt on.
Hold on a second.
Put your shirt on.
Can you hear me? So I'm on stage with the girls.
Hi, honey. Hi, Michael.
I don't know how to do this, but these are all the fans. Mic to the phone. Get it? Mic to the phone. Mic to the phone.
How is everybody? I miss you guys. I'm so sorry.
Love it.
Let me ask you, are they giving you a good show? Are you glad Tom, Kristen, Erica, and Laura are there? Yeah, well, I miss you guys. I can't really hear you, but all the fires and everything, it's just been insane. And is that Aaron?
No, that was me. Sorry.
Oh, hey, what's up, dude? How's it going? Hey, let's look at the sign language lady and see if she can.
She's ready
Oh, I
already.
gotta get closer. Here we go.
You're gonna do diarrhea.
I'd like you.
I'm gonna apologize. Here we go.
I'd like you to give me the sign language for explosive diarrhea. Diarrhea. Thank you. That's all. It really makes me happy.
Thanks, I don't know because of the mic and whatnot, but thanks for doing this. I'm glad you're safe. Keep the looters away, and thank you guys. Thanks, buddy. I'll talk to you soon. All right.
I love it.
He wants to-
Oh, so glad that he could make it. It's so good. We should have asked him what he was like in high school.
Nerd.
We see that in our
I was trying to be polite, but
No, I know his answer.
But he was a big, theater guy, no? Yeah! Nerdy with theater.
He got in, actually I know the answer to this question. So Michael was such a nerd. He got beat up, made fun of. And I think toward the end of middle school, early high school, he found out that he could make people laugh. And then he kind of went with that, and then he got into theater, and became semi-successful as an actor. But he found that making people laugh, less people beat him up.
okay.
Yeah. So that's that. Yeah.
That's one. Make some noise for discovering your superpower. Tonight to be a super boy. What other shows did you guys watch that
yeah.
inspired you?
Miami Vice, Magnum PI,
Excellent.
Three's Company. What's the one? Believe it or not, I'm fine.
Yeah.
Yep.
Great
That one.
Hero.
Yeah.
Yep.
I used to sneak away. We had the TV in the living room, and then we had one of those small TVs in the kitchen that we weren't allowed to use, or I wasn't, and I would sneak away and watch those shows.
Nice.
Yeah, I was a sneaky kid. But it's funny, I forget his name, the actor here who's from Top Gun, he's actually here for Back to the Future, but he was in Top Gun. He's the one that yells at Maverick with a cigar. He's here.
Yeah.
And I went up to him and I introduced myself and I said to him, I said, I've watched that movie so many times and I'm aware that I have made a lot of choices in my career character choices based upon the things that I saw you do.
Wow.
And he looked at me, he goes, "Who are you?" And that's fun. But you are influenced.
Yes.
You know,
yes.
and I think that when I came on to Smallville, every single person I worked with on Smallville had more experience than me. And I was like, I'm proud of the fact that I was kind of like dumb enough but smart enough to realize I had to learn and take away and utilize everything from John Schneider, from you, from everybody, and it was like I just had to like learn. And maybe that's an important takeaway. But you use your influences to express your character's desire. So
I love that. I love that.
sorry.
No. Make some notes for that. No, that's fantastic. And I think one of the great things about Smallville, kind of being an origin story for the Superman mythos, I think it's important for us to understand your individual origin stories for how you got into the craft of acting. If you don't mind, what did inspire you to want to be actors?
Now I can parlay that into the other question, the movie My Girl.
Let's go!
Yeah, so I grew up doing martial arts and like I said, was super loner.
You're a black belt, if I'm not.
Second degree black belt is
Just second degree.
which gave me candy for Supergirl. But I saw the movie My Girl, and I'd never seen a dramatic film like that with an actress that was my age at the time, with a little girl. And I wanted to know what that was and how to do that. And my parents didn't want me to be an actor. And so it took some convincing, and we didn't really know anyone. So I started getting into like classes and background work. When I was like 12, and then did Disney, Goosebumps, Are You Afraid of the Dark? And just kind of, worked my way up a bit, but My Girl was the inspiration for everything,
That's awesome.
And Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
I mean, yes, absolutely.
Which is a weird one, but yeah.
Not weird. First of all, Buffy is fantastic, so
Yes.
I love that,
Yeah, I mean, I didn't grow up watching TV for a long time. We had that old TV that went up and changed it. We didn't have any channels. We had the CBC and Mr. Dress Up, you know. And so TV wasn't the thing I did. I played. I went outside. I like make believe all the time, and I was a little bit of a bossy kid. And so I got the neighborhood kids together, and we did plays and we did performances. And I loved dancing, and I loved doing all this stuff.
Right.
And so I lived more in a world of creativity, and like I said before, I was a very serious young person, and my family wasn't very emotive, but I was really, every kid's emotional. I was really emotional, and my outlet for that, and I took every class known to man. My mom put me in everything: piano, dance, singing, acting, like swim, everything. I did everything. Gymnastics, karate. And so the thing I loved, though, was acting, because it was a place where I could express and I could emote. And so that parlayed into theater for me, and it was a dream to be able to go and just yell and cry and do all of the things that I couldn't do elsewhere.
That's fantastic. Make some noise, y'all. Make some noise. And I kind of want to correct you a little bit. Not boss, you were a director.
You're right. I shouldn't use that word. You're right. You're right. Yeah.
Build things. That's what it was. You're an
Yes, you're right.
That's what
We shouldn't be calling our girls bossy. That's a silly thing to do. What am I saying?
You're an
right.
architect of other people's experiences. That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I was not like a dictator. I was nice.
Exactly. You asked questions. You knew the answer, but you asked questions.
Right on.
So, obviously, with this show, there are a lot of experiences that we would love to get some, behind the scenes stuff. So we have a little game that we want to play with you guys. You have these whiteboards. I've got a couple of questions, and you can either keep it amongst the four of you, or you can throw other people who aren't here under the bus with the answers. That's totally up to you. We can't judge.
It's sort of the idea that we write it and show it. Is it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So, are we ready?
These aren't math questions, are they?
This one might be a little calculated. I don't know. Okay, we'll see. We'll see. Who forgets their lines the most? Or who did forget their lines the most?
This is more of an excellent. I forgot my lines in 2 scenes. I do remember over 10 years there were 2 scenes where I didn't know my lines, and one of them was I was directing an episode, and it was me and Allison, and we were doing this thing. It was a very technical scene. I was talking to Glenn, as you guys know, and we were setting up the shot and this and that, and they're like, okay, blah blah blah. All right, well we're ready to roll, and I realized I didn't learn my lines to be in the scene.
Right.
And I turned to Allison and to Glenn, and I was like, guys, I'm really sorry about this. I don't know my lines. And Allison goes, let's go. And we walked over to the corner, and we ran the scene like 3 times. And that's all it took.
Right.
And everybody was patient, and I'm still so appreciative of everyone's patience. But it also never really happened. I mean, everybody really showed up prepared to our set.
I'm literally sitting here and I can't remember.
Yeah, I was watching all of you like, I don't know. There we go.
Of course, it's the first person that comes to mind. Myself. Who'd you say? Oh, what did you say? You guys always knew your lines. Not from you.
Remember that ever being a
I don't think we just put ourselves out there, but secretly we all know it was the other person.
I don't know who it was.
I could think of someone, but I'm not going to say it. I went over my
wasn't
lines
me,
a
was
lot.
it?
It was no one on the stage. Or I go my lines a lot with you because I get all like nervous when something would happen.
You always knew your lines. It was just working performance. And you always knew your lines. You didn't show up like unprepared.
Oh, no, but
I showed up to Lucifer. Okay, I'll throw. Here's the thing. I showed up to the Lucifer set once, and it was this. I was prepared. I didn't realize. I had messed up with what scene we were shooting. I thought we were shooting another scene, and I knew those lines. And it turned out to be a scene where I had to be on the phone with someone, a video phone call, and explain to them how to. Explain to them how to. What's the word when you take apart a bomb? There's a better word.
Yeah.
Defuse a bomb.
Yeah.
It was like red, blue, this, and I remember it was me and the other actor and the director, and I was like, guys, I thought we were doing something else today. And the director goes, all right, here's what we're gonna do. Pulled over a computer, they put the lines on the computer. I had the phone here, and I was able to read it. We did it in a couple takes, it was great, and nobody skipped a beat, because when you're on set, nobody cares. They want to shoot.
Yeah.
So again, Tom.
All right. That's good.
Next.
Okay, so next one. Who was the biggest prankster on set?
Well, that's easy.
Jokester.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Right.
3, 2, 1. Yep, Michael Rosenbaum. Yep. Good job. Do you have
that's
any?
how we got in the character.
That makes sense. That does make sense. It was method acting. It wasn't really pranking. He was just trying to get.
No,
It was just like, how do I calm down? Because I'm like stressed, so I'm gonna be really loud with jokes, and then be like, and then when the rest of us are distracted, just focus.
Yeah.
That was my experience. I didn't work with him that much.
No, you didn't. And Michael's actually the opposite of a method actor. What he does is, when you say action, he goes right into it. But when you say cut, he's totally out of it. And my process is different. I mean, you and I worked with him a lot. My process, I had to learn to say to him, like, dude, you gotta leave me alone a little bit. Like, I can't do all that and then still be ready. And it's fine. Like, you figure it out. And then you were always the best at it. You just rolled your eyes.
Yeah. Once we got to season 6, I was fine. I could handle anything.
Yeah.
Kind of in the same vein of that question, who was most likely to laugh during a scene? Three, 2, 1, and we've got Tom. Who else we got? Who else?
I put myself. I never worked with Erica, so I don't know what it was like to work with Erica.
Okay. Was there anyone that was snacking all the time while working? Just munching on food all the time.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1.
You always had jerky.
And your sandwich. Oh, the sandwich time.
Bag on the
Chicken
side
sandwich.
with jerky in it.
Yeah. But Justin did, madly. He snacked a lot, and he was so in such good shape, and he was always eating donuts.
That's why he's
Yeah, Justin Hartley. I don't know if you guys have heard of him.
I never worked with him either.
Her tail it too.
So my thing is, like, because I was there all the time, my lunch was I would probably snack all the time so that during my lunch I would get to my trailer and take a nap. So I didn't like ever sit down for lunch. That was sort of my thing. So that's probably how I was snacking. But yeah, I do like jerky.
Yeah, jerky's good. It's fair. It's fair. Okay, obviously, when it comes to the craft of acting, there can be a little bit of competition. So, who was the most competitive in a scene? Either wanting to make sure that they got it right, maybe make you mess up, anything like that.
Oh, no one did that.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
Oh, we had to write it down.
Most competitive.
Listen, you have to remember, I only worked with like 2 people on this show. And all the guest stars.
That's fair. That's fair. That's fair. 3, 2, 1. Okay. All right. The most.
We never worked together.
Well, the word competitive
Has a connotation to it.
it doesn't land with me because
Yes, competitive is the wrong word.
yeah. I mean, literally, the last thing I said to the 3 of you when we walked up here, we were talking about something else. But I'm just so happy that we all get along as well as we do.
Yeah.
There was never one competitive because competitive feels negative. I think we were always striving to make everything better.
Gotcha.
And I think we all did that.
Yeah.
And Michael
Yes.
definitely wanted everything to be great.
Yes.
And I needed you guys to all be great because I was exhausted. So, yeah.
Not bad. I'm gonna make this the last one. As this is the last question, I want to invite you guys to start lining up to ask your questions. So go ahead and feel free to start doing that. Okay, who would last the longest on a deserted island? Character-wise.
Character?
Oh, character?
No, that's too easy. It's too easy if it's a character.
Okay, I was trying to be polite.
It's gotta be me.
It could be an island kryptonite. We didn't say.
Yeah.
As people.
Sure.
I
From
think
the
that's
cast.
probably.
Okay.
I have to go that way, I think. Wow, okay.
I'm overthinking this.
Just go with your heart.
Let's
Go with your
Let's
gut.
go with it. 3, 2, 1. All right, so we got 2 Toms, we got a Kristen and an Erica. All right, that's fair.
So basically, no one thinks I would survive.
Sorry, I think you would survive.
I would totally eat you
The
guys.
reason why they didn't pick you is because with your black belt status, you would never ended up on a deserted island.
Right, I wouldn't be there in the first place.
So that's why they didn't pick you.
Thank you for making me feel better. No one picked me.
I got you. No one wanted to
Fine.
doubt you. That's what it
I'm
was.
not going on vacation with you guys.
Probably.
Yeah, we would all do that.
I don't want to be a cannibal, folks.
Exactly. You could just longer it up there. Yeah, you're like
You can.
The big guy always goes first. Yeah.
they all are looking
There's
at
more
you
to
right
eat.
now. That jerky's looking pretty good. Yeah. We're gonna start on this side.
Sorry,
We're
we're getting.
Hello, friend. What's your name?
Yeah, Madeline.
What's your question?
So some of the first meteorite freaks you encounter pass away in the first season.
Yep.
Did Clark ever feel responsible for that?
Whoa. That's a heavy.
No. I mean, I'm thinking like there was no scene written in Smallville where Clark is like, man, I really miss Bug Boy. Like it just wasn't written, to be honest. You know, yeah, Smallville moves on.
Very quickly.
It just moves on, yeah.
Yeah.
Not that it shouldn't have, but I'm just saying it did.
Right. There's a multiverse somewhere where that absolutely was the case. He was heartbroken and never became Superman. Hello.
Hi, I'm Isella. So Smallville has a lot of wacky storylines. What's the storyline that when you read it on paper, you're like, oh my god, I have to do this? And then once you did it, you ended up really liking it.
The second half of that question is the hard part. What did you do that you didn't like that you ended up liking?
So you thought you wouldn't like it, but then you did like it?
Yes.
I try to make it hard for you guys.
I would say for me, it's when she has amnesia.
Okay.
Because I thought they were just like trying to get rid of me. Because I didn't have my superpowers. And so I wasn't thrilled about that, but then I realized while we were shooting, I got the chance to play a different character.
Right.
So it was actually quite fun because I could show more emotion when it wasn't Kara.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
I have a lot of these. Honestly, I really didn't think I'd enjoy the witchy stuff. And I didn't in some ways, but I also had a lot of fun and it felt really silly. And in retrospect, it's a really fun thing to look back on and go, wow, that was absurd.
I don't want you to comment on this right now.
Okay.
But Michael and I on the podcast, we have this thing because Lex is with Lana right now.
Oof, it's a dark season.
And I am convinced that Lana is playing him. And Michael, of course, disagrees. And
Just where you're at.
And neither of us remember what happens.
Oh, right.
So we're both like, we not sure what's gonna happen.
Where are you at?
We're
Has she lost the baby yet?
No, we're 4 episodes into season 6. But yeah, I didn't say that to make you comment, but I just thought it was funny. I think for me the red Clark. I remember reading it being like, what the F? But then finding a way into it where it became a lot of fun. Yeah.
Great question. Thank you.
Hello.
Hi, I'm Ricky. Smallville's like my second favorite show of all time.
Second.
Goodbye.
Sorry about that. But I love you all.
Thank you.
Right?
What was your favorite character arc or story?
You mean our second favorite?
Ricky, you're not gonna live that down. You're not gonna live that down.
I appreciate your honesty.
Second favorite story arc. We're just gonna tie that into it.
I'll tell you, my least favorite was the red, blue blur stuff.
I was gonna say it's my favorite because you hated it so
I hated it. You saw me being just disgruntled.
It was weird.
I knew it needed to happen because we were dying.
We were finding things. But you know, it was really hard to say red, blue, blur.
Yeah.
Now I can.
You had to say it all the time.
I did.
Is this after our time?
Yeah. What is the red, blue, blur thing?
It was a stupid thing where Clark had this alter ego where he dressed in black and he was like kind of Batman.
It's like.
And then, as much as I hated it and Clark really didn't like it, I had to do scenes with Lois who kept saying how great the red, blue, blur is. And he was just like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
What are we
That
doing?
was a tough. Is that like red kryptonite? Like it changed your personality?
No, it was just Clark like being a vigilante at
It was
night.
pre-Superman, Superman.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Thanks for watching, Laura.
Anyone else want to throw it on that?
Storyline. A favorite?
Second favorite?
Second favorite. If you have one, go.
Was it the Egyptian thing?
Wasn't the Egyptian thing the witch thing?
No.
Erica's Egyptian
She
thing.
was taken over by like an Egyptian goddess at one point. And I remember
Yeah, that's true. Isis was something, eh?
yeah, I think
I had a company named Isis.
Oh, you know which one was? We really we're going negative. I think we're supposed to do our favorite, but all that keeps true to form. You just remember the negative. I didn't love Stiletto, but that was because of the costume. It was very uncomfortable.
That's the dancing thing.
No, that was Exposed. That was so many weird ones I've done. But Stiletto was when I was wearing the pleather on pleather, and I couldn't sit down. And they made me that special sitting box where it was like Hannibal Lecter.
They made you a
Yeah,
sitting box?
like there was a box attached to a dolly that they would bring to set, and then I could just lean on
You
it.
can't sit, so you lean.
Michael had that too, but for his back.
Yeah.
I know.
It was dark.
We got off topic.
No. We were just all enjoying the magic of it.
Okay.
We will bump to the next question just to save you from that one. Hello, friend.
Hi, my name is Taylor. I admittedly got onto the Smallville train kind of late. I still haven't finished. I apologize to you guys. But moving into my question, I did watch. I got onto it after I started the Arrowverse, and I know you, particularly Tom and Erica, had that scene in Crisis on Infinite Earths. And I wanted to know, particularly too, how did you feel about getting that chance to have that whole epilogue?
I had been There have been some calls about me visiting some other. Since when Smallville ended, there's some other shows that obviously started, like Superman-ish, and I'd gotten some calls, but they were all sort of like. They weren't me acting on these shows. It was me playing Clark on those shows, and I really felt protective of the fact that like Clark wouldn't exist on those shows.
Right.
And then finally, I got someone who was connected to it said, "Listen, please just read it. It's one scene. Just please read it." And I read it, and I was like, "This is good." Like I just
still
thought.
able to banter, right? It was like 5 scenes, 5
Yeah.
lines or whatever when I came in, and I was like, oh, I still get a bug him a bit.
It was one, yeah, it was just the one scene. And I was like, man, this is actually a good idea. This is the way to do it. And, you know, Clark didn't have his powers, and my way into that scene was I wanted to play Clark as if he grew into Jonathan Kent. Like when I showed up, they didn't have gloves for Clark. And I was like, can we get some gloves? And I ended up borrowing some gloves from one of the grips because I'm like, I don't have superpowers. Like, and it's just like weird things that get you attached to characters. And I tried to walk a little more like John Schneider in a way. And then Erica being there was even great. And the way, you know, I thought you did a great, you know, you were able to bring back the idea of like, oh, you. You know what I mean? Yeah, and I just thought it was great. I have no idea how Clark lost his powers. That wasn't explained. But I think one of the easiest lines I've ever said was when I looked at John Cryer and I said, "You're not Lex Luthor." That was so easy for me to say. You know what I mean? Because he's not to me. So, and again, that's one Clark in a zillion different versions of a multiverse. So, yeah, I really liked it. Plus, the crew didn't know where to shoot on the farm, and I was like, I don't want to say, like, I didn't want to tell them what to do, but I was like, well, if you're over here, you can kind of put the camera here. Like, it was like, I was like, so it was wonderful. It was wonderful.
I love that. Erica, do you want to throw anything on that? Okay. Good job. Hello.
Hey, my name's Willie. Tom, I talked with you. Oh, I talked with all of you guys. Thank you again so much for being here. Appreciate you very much. And Tom, I had mentioned this, but I want to pose this to all of you. I didn't appreciate the arc over the 10 seasons that you guys had and stuff until like the very end, and looking back at how the development is like, this is really a wonderful story, because I was one of those, let's just get Superman already or whatever the case may be, not really understanding what you were trying to really do in fleshing out Clark Kent in his storyline. So my question to you all is over the time that you were all together doing the show, how much did you feel like you personally grew through that time, and how much did those characters influence the way you became who you are today?
That's a great question.
Well, I'll say this. On a television show as an actor, you get a script, if you're lucky, 7 days before you start filming. And there's not a lot of dialogue unless you really are motivated to discuss where you think you want your character to go. So a lot of times when you see our characters on the show, we just read that script, and we're trying to do that script that they wrote. And I think I think Al Miles and then the writers that came behind them were really great. I mean, to me, between 5 and 6, it's a different show. It's really Smallville and Metropolis to me. But I think one thing that's, as much as you see our faces and you see our characters, a lot of times we're just treading water, trying to get through a scene or a character arc, unless we have major concerns. And it's only through the podcast, which I brought up, that I look back and realize how much I did not engage on story arcs. Like when Martian Manhunter showed up, I had no freaking idea who he was. But it worked because Clark didn't know who he was. Right. So I don't mean to take up your lady's time to answer that, but a lot of times it's because it's our faces that we quote unquote get the blame, but it's really not. Like, we're servicing a story that's already been written. That's a big part.
Do you remember when you were talking about the voice you had for Lana when you started, and the way she was, and then you went away, and then you came back and were trying to find her voice? I wasn't just speaking to what he was saying about as you age and stuff like that, and you grow.
No, I mean,
it changes.
I'm gonna answer this from a slightly different perspective, which is, I grew up on this show. I was 18, 19 when this started, and I was there up until my mid-20s. So when we talk about growth and about how the character influences growth, I think it was less the character and it was more the environment and it was the learning curve. But yeah, I mean, if you watch the show, I have a very small voice in the beginning, and by the end I think I have more of what my voice is now. And that's just growing up and feeling comfortable in your body, and it took me a long time to get there. But it's very obvious when you watch the series. And that's less the experience of Lana and more the experience of Kristen, being put in front of the camera, being put with all of these people, learning how to like sit in her body. Yeah.
My thing with Flo is where there was a level of neurosis at the beginning,
Right,
which
yes.
was super jumpy, and then as the show went along and I was given more material and I started to relax a little more, it was like, you know, one was feeding the other.
Was it Lois that did that, or was that you just did the environment?
I think I was more of, well, I do think they wrote her slightly differently, but I also was much more comfortable.
Yeah.
Laura, did you want to add anything?
Yeah, it was very similar to theirs, but when I came up to the show, it was my first time being away from home in a new city, and I was petrified, and I was petrified to be on such a big show. Long call days, stunt rehearsals, driving yourself, so I think it worked because I was so scared, and Kara was new to the planet, didn't know what was happening, didn't know anybody, was a little scared herself, and like making up for it by putting on a persona. I was doing the exact same thing, acting like I was comfortable to be there, but like shooting my pants to be there at the same time.
That art and life parallel, it's beautiful.
And I think, like they said, over time, when I got more comfortable and I knew I felt safe and I wasn't going to get fired, I started to put more of myself maybe into her. And I think sometimes too, the writers might adapt once they see who you are and what you're bringing to it. They might adapt it a little bit for you. Yeah.
Makes most of it. Great question.
We should really give Tom less lines.
Tom shouldn't speak.
Nobody talk. Everybody else talk.
Hi, my name is Cynthia, but this question is actually for my friend Gina, who is in Toronto right now. She's a big fan of the podcast Talkville, sorry. Talkville, so she wanted to know from Talkville, like, what your favorite moment of the show has been, what has been so far?
There was I think it might have been yesterday morning. It's been a long 2 days, but there was a 12-year-old kid who asked me a similar question, and the first scene that came to mind was from the pilot, where the kid crashes the truck, and Clark opens the door, and he says, "My name is Clark Kent, and you're in Smallville." That's the first scene that came to my mind. And I do remember, like, the pilot was such a big production. I mean, you were there, and it took a month or something to shoot, and I just remember feeling so cool in that moment. And so that's the first thing that comes to mind. There's a zillion amazing moments that I think we accomplished, but that's the first one that comes to mind.
Thank you, and shout out to Gina.
Thank you. Hello.
Hi, my name is Luana, and I was just wondering if there were any questions or topics that you guys get asked about a lot but never get tired of talking about.
Ooh. Questions that you get asked a lot but never get tired of talking about.
Again, like I said over there, I think as time goes on, I get more and more appreciative of what we were able to accomplish as a cast.
Yeah.
I just think it's really amazing what we did, and it was all happening too fast, I think, at the time to ever feel that. But as time goes on and when we see each other, I just feel it in my heart. Yeah.
Appreciate that. That's a good one. Thank you. Hello.
My name is Melanie, and my question is, what's been the most rewarding experience for you guys on Smallville?
Most rewarding experience on Smallville.
Being a part of the cast.
Yeah, I think it's just what Tom said. Again, I feel like it's the same answer, at least for having these relationships. I mean, we all get along really well. Yeah, it's really nice. How many years after is it?
Many.
37.
Whoa, whoa.
We look great.
Yeah.
I mean, it was really cool to be part of such an awesome mythology.
Yeah,
and have characters that were so cool and interesting and did all sorts of wild stuff. So to get the opportunity to continue to work in that vein and do the thing that I loved all the time, and not that I assumed it would happen forever, but now that I work more part-time and I'm raising my kids and that's all great, but I look back on that and go, man, that was really neat to be able to get up every day and do that thing, because there is distance, because there's time and reflection. But yeah, it's the people that you pick up along the way that are your, you know, that you put in your pocket and you keep with you, and you're like, man, that was cool. Because sometimes you look back on projects and you're like, I don't want anybody in my pocket. You just stay out of there.
I talked to a woman today, she goes, I watched everything you've ever been in, except for The Fog, because it's a scary movie and I don't like scary movies. And I'm like, well lady, you're in luck, because that movie is not scary. You can go ahead and watch it, it doesn't make any sense. It was supposed to be scary, but go ahead and watch it. But yeah, it's just really great. And I think we're actually reminded when we come to these conventions and we see each other, we're meeting you guys, obviously this is what we talk about a lot. You know, I don't think any of us wake up in the morning and think about Smallville, and sometimes I even forget it happened, if you know what I mean, because it's such a different part of our lives and so long ago. But when we come here, it's fun to reminisce and appreciate it, I think, more than I ever did at the time.
Great question. We have just over 2 minutes, so we'll try to see how many questions we can get through.
All right, I'll shut up.
Hi, my name's Chris. First off, Tom, loved you in Cheaper by the Dozen.
Absolutely, thank you.
And my question is actually for my buddy over there. He was a little nervous to come up here, so I was doing it for him. He wants to know, who between Lana and Lois did you have the most chemistry on set?
Wow!
Just real quick, careful.
Quick, just off the top of my head, Michael.
That's a smart man right there. Thank you.
Next question.
Next question.
Hey guys, thank y'all for coming. Love y'all. I've always been curious if any of the cast members, if they ever read Smallville season 11, and if you.
No.
Next question.
Based on a new podcast.
No, I haven't, but I've been told to, but I don't. I know I haven't.
You should. Yes.
Okay. Hello.
Hi, my name is Maddie. I know that all of y'all didn't exactly get to film with each other in the same season and episodes, but I was wondering if each of
I filmed with everybody.
well, you're an exception because, well, you know, you're the star. Did each of you have an episode that you had the most fun filming?
Standout episode?
Honestly, I had a lot of fun filming Lexmas. Weirdly, I really had a great time filming that episode. Yeah.
That's good. What else?
Spell.
Yeah, it was fun. You were really funny.
I'm blanking on the name of it, but there's an episode that I always reference, but it's when Clark switches bodies with Lionel. Transference, thank you. Transference, where Clark and Lionel switch bodies. That was just a wonderful creative experience working with John, and I look up to him so much as just a wonderful actor and a person, and you're asked to step into some of those shoes, and it's a fun experience.
Absolutely. Yeah. Or do you want to throw in?
I think it was called Fracture.
Okay. That's a good one. I think this is going to be our last question. I apologize to everyone that didn't get a chance to ask one. Go see them at their booth. Hello.
Hello, my name is Rob. I wanted to say thank y'all for being my comfort zone when I was younger.
Of course.
My question is for all of you together. If you could go back and talk to the writers of your show, what moments would you like to change for your character?
Ooh, is there a moment you would like to change for any of your characters?
I would like to have just changed my wardrobe.
All right. That's fair.
So to be brutally honest, yeah.
I actually thought, thank you, because it's probably the only character that I played that was so incredibly different, and I felt like she was full-bodied and she could be a lot of different things. So I got to play so much on that show.
Well said.
I can't give a fast answer for this.
Tom?
I don't. We were so caught up in it. I was so caught up in it and trying to keep up that, and the show lasted 10 years. So they did a lot of things right. I wasn't able to really ever take a breath to consider. Like, I was more worried about my schedule than being prepared for the scene in front of me.
Would have asked not to be the red blue blur.
And not red blue blur, but also I look back and I see why they had to do it. And the one thing I do like about the red blue blur character is he was a lot of times by himself on a rooftop making phone calls on a cell phone. I love those scenes. It was like me and the script supervisor.
Before I had to shoot mine.
Yeah, and then you had to do it somewhere else.
And you went home and I was like, oh.
Yeah. So it's that's probably the hardest question that we've gotten today, because I mean, we've discussed it on the podcast, and you were very eloquent and respectful about a lot of things, but I don't know, a lot of it's a blur to me.
Fan Expo New Orleans, make some noise one more time.